Have you ever wondered why recording feels completely natural for some podcasters and like pulling teeth for others? Or why some hosts can script out every word and sound totally at ease, while others sound stiff the second they try to follow a script? It's not confidence, but it actually might be your chart. I am Leah Bryant, and this is the Podcasting Problem Solver. This is part 2 of my conversation with email strategist and messaging architect, Breanna Owen. And if you haven't listened to part 1 yet, make sure you go back. I will link it below. We covered human design, energy types, profile lines, and why you should be selling in your email from day 1. And today we are getting specific. We're talking about what your chart says about how you should be showing up with your voice in your episodes, on guest appearances, and how that translates directly into your email content. All right, so let's get into it. This is so dang useful already. And I want to bring this specifically to like podcasters that are listening, because I think there's something really unique about our medium where we're using our voice. We're already creating like this intimate connection through audio. Like, are there parts of human design that are especially helpful for those of us who are showing up vocally and we want to like transition that into email? Will we approach it the same way?
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going to go with that question.
Oh, but you could go to whatever direction you want to go.
It jumped to like how to use your human design within your podcast.
Oh, we could do that too.
Because I'm so obsessed with email, I often look at the chart in context of what does this mean for your email. But honestly, everything I say can be copy pasted for that person in any type of content they're making, like the podcast. So for podcasters, when you're using your voice, a couple of things that come to mind that are so key and beneficial for you to look at, in addition to, I've already mentioned like the energy type, we've talked about the profile lines, but the biggest thing also to look at would be your voice, your throat center within your chart. So there's the aspect of, is it defined? Do you have consistent access to your voice energy? Because if you do, you can script out your episodes and you could just follow a script. Leah, you have a defined throat, so you might find that you like it when you are scripting it out and you can write out whole sentences.
Yes.
And just follow it word for word. Because you have consistent access to your voice, you can consistently do this. If somebody is undefined, they do not have consistent access to their voice. So they're going to be better off bullet pointing, high-level ideas, big picture. I want to say this, then I'll move into this. I want to make sure I hit these notes, because how they show up will be different every time. They will never say the same thing the same way twice. And then same if they're completely open. So if they have no active gates in their throat at all, they are also going to prefer to like bullet it out. If you are defined, your communication and what you say is going to be pretty grounded in who you are. Like it is going to come from you.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Someone told me when they were looking at my chart that my throat, I don't know how they said it, that it was disconnected or...
So, yeah, you have a ton of defined centers. So like your head and your ajna are connected. There's a bridge from your head and there's a bridge from your ajna that meet together, and that is a connection there. Your throat is connected to your ego center, which is what makes you a Manny Gen. But while your throat is defined and your ajna is defined, there are not bridges that connect your head and the rest of your body. So there's literally like a cut between your head and your body.
So does that mean that, sometimes I don't know what that means, but I'm like envisioning Leah just says things and she doesn't think about it.
Sometimes you can get like stuck up in your head.
Yes.
Yep. And it's important to move that energy because decisions are never made in your head. you can never think your way through to something.
Yeah.
A decision is always in your body. It's always
Yeah.
a physical thing. And so because you don't have this connection, a direct connection between your head and your body, you can be a little bit more intentional about moving your body or noticing, hey, I'm getting real stuck up in my head
Yes.
and I need to reintegrate things. So you can almost think of it as like islands, like your head and your asha are an island, and then you've got a couple of different sets of islands. So your throat and your ego are an island, and then your identity, your sacral, and your emotional center are an island. So you have what's called a triple split. So you need time to process things and make decisions, but you also need to be around a variety of people or in a variety of environments to help you make those connections, because we're trying to like close the gap. We're trying to find an energetic bridge. If you can't do it for yourself, you're looking for an energetic bridge to help you make those connections. But you have 3 sets of islands that you need to find energetic bridges for. And so you're probably not going to find that all in one person or one place. So if you could go work, let's see, what are you? You're in natural shores. So if you could go like co-work someplace where there are other people around, you don't have to interact with them. You don't have to engage with them. You just need to be around them.
Oh, interesting.
You need to be in a variety of environments. If you only see or are around the same person or in the same environment day after day after day, you're not going to like it.
And I love that you talked about the bridge, because I always talk about building bridges on this podcast. Yes.
Yeah.
So fascinating. I did not mean to interrupt you. So sorry. Go ahead.
No, I absolutely have questions. That's why I love doing like one-on-one sessions with clients, because they can be like, wait, what about this? So if somebody is having a struggle trying to figure out, my podcast is going great, I can move people to my email, I cannot figure out what to say or why I'm not converting an email, like that's a really great question to bring. And then we can go, okay, well, let me see what's going on.
Yes.
What does the chart say? And what is happening in your actual email? Because if you are leading with desire, but you are actually guilt motivated or you are fear motivated, like that's not going to work for you. If you are a projector who needs to ask for the invitation or wait for the invitation, but you are showing up as a manifester saying like, here's how it is, here's how it goes. If you want more, go here.
Yeah.
There's like this energetic dissonance then when people read your content. And if it doesn't feel good, even if they can't logically explain it, they're not going to take the action you want them to take.
Yes. I just did an episode, I will link it below, where I talked about how if a podcaster is recording, they're like, I know that content was so great, that episode should be doing fabulous, but it's not. But they were in a space of energetically, like maybe they were tired or they were frustrated or whatever else. And then when they were recording, it comes through like your voice.
Yes.
You can hear that. And when you hear that, you can feel that.
Yep.
And if somebody is listening to you and you're in a space of you're frustrated, you're tired, you're angry, whatever the feeling is, other than excited to be there and pumped to share what you're sharing, your listeners are going to feel that. And then they're going to be like, meh. Do I want to continue listening? If this is the first time I'm listening to this show, do I want to keep going? Well, that could be the same thing about email. I didn't. Why have I not?
Yeah, I say all the time, like, however, whatever energy you're in when you write the email is the energy that goes out. The good news is, like, this is why I love email automations and sequences so much. This is like evergreen sequences. Because if you write an email, like, listen, ladies.
Cycles, yes.
If you write when you are ovulating, I'm just saying, that energy goes out all the time.
Right.
Of just like that,
gosh.
you know?
I love that.
Like, very much so. Whatever energy space you're in is the energy that goes out with it. The good news is if you can write when you are in a really positive, satisfied, or successful, or peaceful space, depending on your energy type, then even if you are late luteal later, or like cranky or fighting with your husband or just whatever, the world is on fire.
Right.
Guess what? You don't have to fake it in an email, because the email
was written during a time where you were actually honestly feeling
Great.
fabulous.
Yes. And so that is the energy that will go out consistently on your behalf.
Oh my gosh. It's okay. So takeaway number 1 is to write your podcast scripts, your outlines, all the things, and your emails all in the same time of happiness and when you're feeling like $1,000,000.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of batch creation. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but I love it.
But even if you sit down and just wrote like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
1 or 2.
Mhm.
And even just to test it.
Mhm.
Because that's what like the big thing about that episode, what as I was talking about was like, I know it sounds woo-woo, but seriously, just test it. When you are feeling like you are on top of the world,
Yeah.
record your content, do your thing. Same with
Yeah.
your email. And then see what comes back to you.
100%.
Oh my gosh, I love that we're building these bridges.
Yeah. My core offer is called the Easy Yes Email Architect, where we build a sequence in your business. Every email, the whole sequence, we are moving people to a point of yes. We are moving them from point A to point B. I call it the Cotton Eye Joe. Where do they come from? Where do they go? But it's a bridge. We build the bridge, Leah. I also call it that in my work, is building the bridge.
I love it. So good. Okay, so I love all these parallels. It's so awesome. Especially between not just like the podcast content, the email content, but like what you do with messaging, what I do with podcast strategy. And it's like understanding the system you're working with so that you can make intentional decisions instead of just guessing.
Yeah. And all about like making it easier on yourself.
Yes.
Like just work with where you're at naturally.
Yes.
Because it's going to feel the easiest. It's going to flow the easiest. It's going to be attractive. It's going to be like your siren call, only we're not luring sailors to their death, right?
Right.
Like, but it's going to be your siren song and bring people in for you. Like life is already hard enough. Parenting, being a business owner, it's hard. Why
so hard.
make it harder?
Yeah. We have an easy button right here for you, folks.
Let's do it.
All right, Breanna, one more question before we wrap up. I have to ask this because I know people are going to try to go out and implement what they're hearing today, which they should, of course.
Yeah.
And they're going to make mistakes because that's life and we all do, and that's okay too. But like, what's one common mistake people make that you've seen when they're using their human design in business or their marketing, in particular email? Or what suggestions would you have to help us as we're diving in and going through this awesome transition and using human design in our email?
I think the biggest mistake I see people make is trying to figure it all out on their own.
Yeah.
And really trying to bite off more than they can chew or, like they're really ready for. And when you do that, that can get overwhelming. That can get frustrating. That can get discouraging. Or sometimes people will be like, well, I'll just feed AI my chart.
Right.
And the thing that I've seen time and time again is that AI doesn't know it super well. Like you have to know it enough to be able to second check any sort of AI. So those are my 2 things would be,
okay,
don't try to learn it all at once. And if you're going to use AI, make sure that you are working with someone who can give you, yes, that's correct, or nope, it's not how that goes. That's not how that works.
Okay.
Yeah.
This has been so helpful, Breanna. I think the biggest thing I'm taking away is that our communication doesn't have to feel exhausting, whether it's our podcasts, our email, our sales conversations. When we understand how we're wired and work with that instead of against it, it will get easier. So good. Breanna, now I need you to share where people can find you, follow you, consume all of your stuff, get on your email, all the things, because we are all going to want to come work with you.
Yes, please. I'm so excited for that. My website is owenyourmark.com. Again, Leah will share the note for grabbing that freebie I mentioned that is also on my website. I'm on Instagram, my same handle, owenyourmark. Come say hi to me for sure. Check out the freebie. It'll put you on my email list and reach out and let me know how I can support you.
Thank you so much, Breanna, for your time today. This was such a great conversation. You'll have to have you back again. We'll have to talk about something else and how it all relates together because this is just so fascinating and I love it so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Leah.
Of course.